My question was very similar to the previous lady, so I'll give two quick statements.
Yeah.
The first, if this fruit fucker happens, you need to make sure it's a death that handling zombie apocalypses.
Oh, absolutely. It has to have that subroutine. Oh, we're perfectly aware.
I'm glad to know you're on the case. And the second, so you were speaking about chronological order, which was what my question was going to be related to, but he did the Penny Arcade theme years ago.
He did.
Can you give us maybe a little backstory on that?
Oh yeah, it was just really weird. Like, you remember when it was super easy to get music all the time? Like whatever band you wanted, and then you learned about new bands like every day, and you listened to a lot more music as a result, and then you ended up buying more music as a result. Those were cool times.
They were. Well, we have Pandora and
Yeah. We have the new model, but that was a very interesting time, and it was during that time that I started to learn about Songfight. Yeah, right. They would have a theme, and then a bunch of artists would submit songs, and sometimes they were really cool, and sometimes they were okay. I mean, it was definitely people at a certain threshold. They were learning how to do it, and until they did Yellow Lasers, right? And it was the most insane. Like, when I realized, I listened to the rest of them, and they were cool, and then all of a sudden I heard this very, very, like, there's so much progression in this bass line. It was just dragging me along through this song, and it ended up being this super bizarre cosplay fetish thing. Like, it's one of these things where I think you're listening to a song and then you finally realize what the song is about, where you're sort of like, oh, we have a kid with the pump doesn't fix, you better run from my gun. You know what I mean? And it was like that. I was like, holy shit, she is peeing on him. This is really happening in a song that I am listening to right now.
So, are you saying it inspired you?
No. That's why a tarp. After that, I was like, anytime I saw that name come up on Songfight, I was like, holy shit, this guy is doing something, and he's writing, and he's doing hip-hop that is about these way inside baseball, like inside the back of my skull type topics. And I mean, this is before I don't think nerdcore existed as a word yet. And I just sent him an email. I said, you are doing some crazy shit. And then when he finally started putting out records and stuff like that, that's when I named him Penny Arcade's Rapper Laureate. And after that, then he made the official theme song. He plays a new version of it here every year, so super exciting. He's a good dude.
All right, thank you.
Hello?
Hey.
So I heard that you might be a member of a different type of piece that there was a conference for this summer, which was National Homebrew Conference.
National who?
Yeah, you're a brewer. I heard you're a brewer. You brew beer.
A brewer?
Me?
Yeah.
No, that's me.
Yeah. I thought so. You looked confused. I thought I had the wrong person up.
No, I think you said burr. I mean, like, I don't know, there's a conference for people who like and make burrs. It's brewer, strictly malts.
So, National Homebrew Conference was here this summer.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it was over in Bellevue. But anyhow.
Next time, that's marvelous.
My question for you is, what is your favorite type of beer to brew? And for the geeking out part, what is your brew setup?
You know, there's a place up in Edmonds.
Where you brew?
Yeah, where you
brew.
Yeah, so they have all the kettles there, and they have a place to keep it so that if it gets fucked up, it doesn't explode and ruin your house. Exactly, so I think it's a great place to learn.
It's amazing.
And then I never ended up getting my own home setup. Whenever I want to make something, I just get together a pork fry, and then we go up there and set up a kettle. We split the cost of a batch, and we come away with gallons of this shit. So my favorite one that we ever made was called, there we go. My favorite one that we ever made, we brought to a LAN party. Nice. It was just completely legendary. It was called Portergeist. Naming them was my favorite. But it was amazing. But a couple weeks in, it started to develop what we call Hmong. And I'm not sure if that's a real term, but we described it as a combination of moss and hair. we just put it straight down. We felt that mass slide straight down the throat, and we were happy for it. We were nourished by the mug.
Well, I would suggest that you look into
A strainer, maybe.
but there is a form of brewing called Burner Bag that it's pretty easy to do at home.
Good deal.
But love to see more about brewing and making your own recipe.
Absolutely. That would be a hoot. But I want to do beer pairings for games. I think that would be sufficiently ridiculous. Yeah, an Acquisitions Incorporated like brew would be pretty hot. Like a Binman bronze bottom, like basically like break down the party into different brews.
Maybe I'll send you guys some brewer recipes.
Why don't you do that? We should take this one offline. I think we could be here for a while.
Hi there, I just want to say I'm just glad to be here. Long time fan.
I'm glad you're here.
First time PAX, and it took me a long time to get here, like 100 minutes from Vancouver.
Hi, Toil.
My question is actually a bit more for Mike.
Okay.
Well, a couple weeks ago, you guys posted a strip about a deep, dark diary of secrets that apparently you, Jerry, did not have access to. Yeah. So my question to Mike is, can you divulge anything about as to what might be?
Oh, what was it? My sketchbook?
Yeah.
Does that have to be specific?
That's totally awesome. This is what he thinks about now. So it's totally cool. I know what it is now.
Now he does. I am making my own tabletop RPG. I ran my 4th edition game for, 2.5, 3 years, and I realized that what I liked about it wasn't necessarily the 4th edition rules, but coming into every Monday night with my own crazy ideas, right? Like, what was the game going to be like tonight?
Well, it was game, and then eventually you realized it was game design, right?
Game design. What I liked is making games for them. And so I finally thought, why not just start from scratch? I have all these ideas. So there was about a month there where I was working on it in my sketchbook, and I didn't want him to see it. Just last week, I actually finally printed out some materials and we had our first play test. It was really fun. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in my spare time now. Once.
Kickstarter! Kickstarter!
It's really weird. I'm actually super embarrassed about it. This is very outside my comfort zone,
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the play test, like the first time someone had a turn, you had hands over your mouth and you stopped breathing.
It doesn't work at all. I think that probably in the next couple months I'll start talking about it more.
Woo!
I'm fourth PAX. I don't acknowledge the plane in Boston. It doesn't exist in my mind.
The other show.
Exactly. Waiting in the queue to come in this morning, we were playing a fairly entertaining game, Cards Against Humanity. And it got me thinking, if the card in play was the U.S. is doing an airdrop for the children of Afghanistan, what are your answers if you could play any card in the deck? Or that you can just imagine.
It's pretty great. I still don't know what that means.
Bigger butt!
It's a little on the nose.
White privilege.
That's a good one. That's just like that one, right?